G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. Just before I get started the video, I just want to give a massive shout out to Big Ben, Spence, and Bill Cower. If you haven't seen that episode yet, it is freaking awesome. And I'm going to watch it again. It was like I was back when I was a kid watching Steelers football, listening to Cower, listening to the stories about Big Ben chasing down the Colts player who ran away with a fumble. It's a really fun and exciting podcast. So go back and check that out. It's awesome. If you want Steelers history, Steelers lore, Big Ben knows what's going on. And you know what? Sometimes I wish I could have that kind of setup. Some beverages, a bar, big house, nice podcast, studio. You know what I mean? I think I'm doing okay here, just been a bloke in my room. But I listened to that podcast. I was like, man, it really refreshed some good Steeler times. Back when we had Coach Cower and when he went to win the Super Bowl for Jerome Bettis. It was freaking awesome. All right. So I just want to bring that up. Anyways, though, guys, today's episode, the schedule's coming out in a few days' time. I think it's like May 11th in America. Thursday night, my Friday morning. So I'm going to try and predict in this episode, and let me know in the comments below, who do you think the Steelers will play in week one? And I have a theory to this. I'm going to try and predict the Steelers, their opponent in week one, and also where they play in week one, home or away. But before I do that, I want to bring up Shifty, our mate Shifty Schefter. He says here, among the changes in the season, NFL will have a Black Friday game for the first time ever. Games don't belong to networks anymore. All games are free agents. Not too sure what that means, actually. So anyone knows, let me know in the comments below. Teams can be on Thursday night football twice. That's interesting. So you can be on there twice, right? That's crazy. And the last one, not all teams are guaranteed to have a primetime spot, right? So a few things about primetime. Now, I do think that in the 2023 season, I think the Steelers will get 5 primetime games like they normally do. But here's a refresher for the 2023 Steelers opponents, right? Of course, at home, we have the ninth game. We have the ninth game going in our direction this year. So an even higher chance to get to week one opening at home. We have the Ravens, Bengals, Browns in our division, Cardinals, Packers, Jags, Patriots, San Fran, and Tennessee Titans at home. Then we have Ravens, Bengals, Browns, of course, in our division, Texans, Colts, Raiders, LA, Seahawks away, right? Now, did you know, Steeler Nation, it's been since 2014, the Steelers have started week one in their own house, right? And I knew it was a pretty long time, but I didn't realize it was that long. So Missy Matthews tweeted this out the other day. She said, and by the way, Missy's awesome. I love her stuff covering the Pittsburgh Steelers. She says, will the Steelers open the season on the road, right, in 2023 for the 9th straight time, or buck the trend this year? Can you believe that they've been on the road since 2015, 8 times in a row? And if they're on the road again week one, that's going to be 9 times in a row. So she had a poll out there for 586 votes the time that I made a screenshot. So 55% said yes, of course, and 44% said not this time, right? Now, there's a big reason why the Steelers have been on the road 8 times in a row and possibly 9 times, but not this year. And the reason is the Pirates have been playing at the same time. And I remember reading an article a few years ago. I think it was from Behind the Steel Curtain and Dave Schofield. And they laid out that the idea was because the Pirates and Steelers couldn't play on the same day because of the parking lot situation. There's too many. It's just too many people, too many cars, and too much commotion going on, right? But this year, the Pirates actually don't play on that Sunday. They're away. But before I jump into that, I wanted to go back in time and look at the results of Steelers Week 1 from 2014. Right? Now, last year in 2022, I haven't got the years, but if you go from top to bottom, they go from 2022 all the way down to 2014, right? And these are all away until the last game with the Browns being at home in 2014. So in 2022, the Steelers, they beat the Bengals 23-20. Now, that was the game with Trubisky and the missed field goals and Man, I thought the Steelers were going like, dude, I really thought we lost that game twice. So I don't know how we won that game. Honestly, I have no idea how we won that game. Then, of course, in 2021, the Steelers were upset the Bills. Also, that year, every single analyst, fan, bloody person around the world thought the Bills were going to win that game. And the Steelers came out to do a massive upset. They won 23-16. In 2020, around the COVID times when there was no crowds, the Steelers won 26-16, right? 1-0, and that was in New York City. Now, here's one that really stung. In 2019 was the Steelers lost 33-3. And I remember that season thinking a real sunken feeling in my stomach and on my heart was like, what is happening? That is one of the most awfulest games I've ever seen in my life. How do you let them score 33 points and you only score a field goal? I feel sick to my stomach. I was like, that's a bad score, right? So that was a really bad start to the year in 2019. In 2018, we had the draw, Steelers versus Cleveland Browns. You walk away going, oh my goodness, what happened? We got a draw. In 2017, they're away again. They beat the Browns 21-18, right? And they versed the Browns, I think, 3 times in this span. Then the massive one was when I was actually over in Canada. I was living in Canada at the time. In 2016, was versing the Washington Redskins at the time. They beat them 38-16. And I believe from memory, Antonio Brown went off in that game. Absolutely went off. Then the year before that, they lost to the New England Patriots 28-21. And finally, to come all the way back to the start, in 2014 was their last home game. They won 30-2017. 9 years ago. Now, do you think the Steelers are going to open up week 1 at home? I am 99% sure the Pittsburgh Steelers will open up at home because of this reason, right? Because of this reason. Now, the Pittsburgh Pirates are versing the Atlanta Braves on Sunday, September 10th. Your American Sunday, right? That's away in SunTrust Park. So you have the whole car park when they share that area for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Steelers aren't going to play on Thursday night. They're not playing the Chiefs. The next best option is playing Sunday. You can play Sunday 1 p.m., 4 p.m., or in the afternoon, Sunday night football. But here's what it gets even better. Now, the Pirates come back the Monday night football. And I do believe my good mate Sean mentioned to me that the NFL season will have 2 Monday night football games. Now, there's a possibility that there's a possibility that they're not going to play at home because the Pirates would share the stadium, right? There's a possibility that Steelers could play away on Monday Night Football. But when you go to the roster, or you go to the opponents, would you really see them playing the Texans, the Colts, the Raiders, Monday Night Football, or even the Rams or Seahawks? The only real, in my opinion, the only real legitimate one I would see would be Steelers versus Ravens, Bengals, or Browns in Monday Night Football. So I'm going to cancel that out. I'm going to cancel that right out and come back to this. Come back to the SunTrust Park. While the Pittsburgh Pirates are away, I believe that the Steelers will play at home week 1 for the first time since 2014, right down the bottom, right? But here's the catch right now. What team do they verse? And I've been thinking about this long and hard for like the last week. You've got the Ravens. They could verse the Ravens at home. You've got the Bengals, the Browns. Any one of those divisional teams could be awesome for week 1. I don't think it will be like the Cardinals or an NFC team like the Packers, anyone like that. Possibly the Jags, but I don't see that either. Now, I'm going to narrow it down to, I think it's going to be 2 teams. I don't think it's going to be Titans. I don't think it's going to be 49ers. I actually think it's going to be the Steelers versus Patriots week 1 at home, or Steelers versus Browns week 1 at home. Now, let's try. I want to try and pinpoint this as best I can. I'm going to narrow it down even more. I actually believe my pick overall, and let me know in the comments below who you think the Steelers are going to verse week 1 at home. My pick is right now, 2 days before the schedule comes out. It's going to be Steelers versus Patriots at home, 1 p.m. That's what I'm feeling. I wanted to go Browns. I thought about saying Browns, Steelers versus Browns, 1 p.m. But I feel like Mike Tomlin versus Bill Belichick, not Sunday Night Football, Sunday Football, 1 p.m. kickoff. Kenny Pickett versus Mac Jones if he's still playing. I'm just thinking they made the trade together. They went and got Jones. Patriots got Gonzalez, right? I feel like it's going to be Sunday, 1 p.m., Steelers versus Patriots kickoff weekend at home. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below who you think's going to start, who's going to play. Do the Steelers play at home? Do the Steelers play away? Let me know who you think they're going to verse. And here's the opponents once again. Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Cardinals, Packers, Jags, Pats, 49ers, Titans. On the other side, Texans, Colts, Raiders, Rams, and Seahawks away. Please put in the comments below who you think's going to be with the week 1 opponent. I just feel like the trend's going to break. I feel like this is going to break. It's been 8 years straight, and possibly could be 9 years the Steelers play on the road. That's crazy. Anyways, guys, thank you for checking out Steelers Nation Australia. And as always, here we go, Steelers. Here we go.